When I was 5 years old, I received a light blue iPod Nano for Christmas from my parents. My dad downloaded 4 of the most popular Taylor Swift songs at the time onto it, along with some of his favorite songs, like With or Without You by U2. Eventually, I started picking out 99-cent songs to buy with iTunes gift cards. Since then, my engagement with music has shifted to a streaming format. Now I'm on Spotify and have access to an incredible amount of diverse music. The way we interact with and value music, specifically the album format in comparison to the single, has changed. For at least the last 20 years, there has been debate about whether or not the album is dead. While the album is struggling due to the popularity of singles, for now it is alive. But music consumption has changed drastically since the primary way of listening was a physical format. Now, singles are streamed more than full albums, but the accessibility of music is greater than ever before, so albums are still frequently listened to as a whole. Albums allow for a narrative and an expression of themes that a single doesn't. There has been a slow progression in music distribution to arrive where we are now in the streaming age. The record player was the primary way to listen to music for most of the 20th century. Record stores popped up and people bought albums to play in their homes. Music was consumed in the album format. A single would come out, but the album was more exciting and more profitable. According to Charles Fairchild, a music researcher, in the 1990s, the dominant music industry companies would even delete a single once it was doing well in order to make more profit on an album. A reporter for Billboard, Brian Garrity, claims that pushing bundled products down the throat of consumers in the form of bloated, overpriced CDs, plus the deletion of physical singles, is what drove the revolution in song downloading. In preventing consumers from purchasing singles, the music industry may have actually pushed individuals to illegal song downloading, which eventually paves the way for the legal streaming services that dominate the market now. The way consumers engage with music has changed because of streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music, and free options like YouTube. In contrast to playing music off of a physical record or CD, while streaming, albums and artists can be easily moved between. A listener can make a playlist with all of their favorite songs, possibly none from the same album or artist. Each song is treated as a single rather than a cohesive piece of a full album. As the medium we use to listen to music has changed, the way we engage has changed. Streaming is the most cost-effective way to consume music right now. An economist, Joel Waldfogel, says music production is cheaper than ever before because of the advancement in digital technology used to make it, so the quantity of music being released has grown. More people have access to more music than ever before at a cheaper price. We don't buy individual records or CDs. We just pay a monthly rate for as much music as we choose to listen to. The album is an art form and as a whole has meaning. A single track is great, but more meaning is made in an album. Rumors by Fleetwood Mac is an example of an album that I think is better as a whole than the individual songs that make it. It is full of great singles and some of the band's most iconic songs. When listening to the album as a whole, there is a progression from anger, betrayal, and loss, like in Go Your Own Way and I Don't Want to Know, to a more optimistic and hopeful place in The Chain and Don't Stop. All of the songs are compiled into an album, specifically ordered in a way to tell a story. The album as a whole, piece of art, allows for a deeper dive into themes of resilience. The album is a breakup album, but in listening to it as a whole, there is an experience of changing themes. Additionally, albums are what define an artist. An artist with 1 or 2 hit songs does not have a definitive voice, while an artist with multiple albums can develop and define a stronger voice. The way we engage with music, primarily on streaming services, encourages the consumption of single tracks because of personalized or curated playlists. In this playlist format, the album struggles to remain relevant. In my experience of listening to music on Spotify, if I want to listen to a full album, I have to decide to. The algorithm does not recommend albums to me. It recommends individual tracks. Music industry companies are not concerned with the full album engagement. They make money off individual song streams, so the full album isn't meaningful in terms of monetary value. Even with the media structured around individual tracks, the album is not dead or irrelevant. Culturally, it contains its significance. It may not be as common of a way to engage with music as it was when music was listened to on records and CDs, but it is still valued. According to Jelaine Jordan, vinyl record sales, which had been decreasing for over 10 years, started to pick back up in 2007 and have continued to climb. Record sales in 2022 were as high as record sales in the mid-80s. The album format has lost some of its relevance and significance since music became digitalized, especially in the era of music streaming services. However, its cultural value is not gone. In only listening to single tracks, we risk losing a deeper development of themes that can only exist in a longer form, like an album. We risk losing a richness in music that is created by themes being expressed and developed in an album in a linear way. The album may not be as profitable as individual tracks, but it still serves to create narratives and strengthen themes in music.